It started with a $4,000 fine for solar panels. Panels I designed. Panels mounted with a system I personally invented, patented, and licensed across the country. But none of that mattered to my HO. To them, I was just another homeowner they thought they could intimidate. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade, worked 2 decades in renewable infrastructure, mostly solar deployment in hostile environments. Off-grid Alaska. Post-hurricane Puerto Rico. I don't just install panels, I help cities rebuild with them. When my wife and I moved to the cul-de-sac in River Point Estates, I thought I was done with chaos. Suburbia seemed quiet, predictable, a good place to finally settle down. We bought lot 36. South-facing roof, perfect sun angle. It felt like fate. Then came the welcome packet, a thick binder of rules and fines disguised as neighborhood charm. Rule 4.2.7, no exterior modifications without board approval. Fine per day, $100. I remember thinking, fair enough. So I submitted my plans, full diagrams, tilt angles, energy modeling. Even noted that the mounting system was mine. US patent #9XXXXXX. 2 weeks later, I got my answer. Application denied. Solar installations must use approved commercial hardware for community visual consistency. They attached a blurry clip art diagram of 2009 rafter brackets. My system was sleeker, safer, and used 80% fewer roof penetrations. I sent a polite rebuttal, included a copy of the patent. I even offered a walkthrough for the board. Silence. Then a knock on my door. A man in a red windbreaker handed me a yellow envelope. Inside, $4,000 in fines. 14-day notice to remove the unauthorized installation. Funny thing is, I hadn't even installed the panels yet. They were fining me for having parts on site. The same day, the HOA group chat lit up with whispers. Someone leaked a photo of my garage, boxes labeled solar racking system. Comments spiraled into paranoia. Cheap Chinese hardware. Ruins property values. Gonna start a fire, you watch. That night, someone egged my mailbox. I'm a 43-year-old father of 2. I pay taxes. I coach Little League. But suddenly, I was the neighborhood terrorist with a roof rig. Knowledge nugget number 1. HOAs cannot override federal law. The Solar Rights Act, in 28 states, prohibits unreasonable restrictions on solar. If you're in one of those states, their visual consistency rule may not be enforceable. But this wasn't just resistance. It was coordinated. I started digging through county records and found something off. The HOA president, Marla Dyson, had 2 last names on old zoning documents. Dyson Haverford. Guess who Haverford Development is? The original land developer. Her husband built River Point. She was still on their payroll as community asset manager. Meaning she wasn't just enforcing rules, she was protecting resale value for corporate investors still holding lots. Solar panels, especially my design, meant modern upgrades, new expectations. Her job was to keep the neighborhood outdated, stagnant, a preserved aesthetic to push up classic home valuations. It was about market control, not sunlight. I filed an appeal with the county's Renewable Integration Board. That's when things went federal. 2 days later, I got a certified letter from the IRS. You are subject to audit regarding reported renewable energy credits for tax year 2022. That's when my stomach dropped. Only one place that info could have leaked from, my HOA application packet. I'd included tax documents to show the system's commercial status. They used my own transparency against me. So I made a call to an old contact at the EPA. He confirmed it. River Point had never filed a stormwater prevention plan for their last 3 lots. That was a $25,000 violation per infraction. Knowledge nugget number 2. Many HOAs forget that undeveloped lots are still subject to federal stormwater permits. If they're illegally draining runoff, you can file an EPA report and they can be fined into compliance. I printed the violations and mailed them to every resident in River Point. Slipped 1 copy into Marla's mailbox by hand. And that's when the war really began. Microcy, Screenshot that last clause about solar rights and stormwater violations. Tag a neighbor who needs HOA armor. They don't want you knowing this stuff. Over the next 3 weeks, I turned my home into a legal fortress. I filed a cease and desist for defamation. My patent had been mocked in writing. I issued a public statement on Nextdoor. I launched a Facebook page, Solar vs. Riverpoint, the truth behind the fines. By week 2, 46 neighbors followed. By week 3, I had 4 other solar families asking for help. Then came the inspection. The county finally sent a neutral evaluator, a man in jeans and a clipboard. He looked at my roof, checked my racking system, took a photo, then paused. "Wait," he said, "you invented this?" I nodded. He grinned. "I just put this exact system on my lake house in Michigan." A week later, the city filed a compliance order against Riverpoint HOA. Solar discrimination, improper fine levying, misuse of member dues. But I wasn't done yet. I pressed forward with a small claims suit, personal damages for interference with business operations. My mounting system license was temporarily paused during all of this. And yes, I brought Marla into court. Final showdown was just like you'd imagine. She walked in smug, heels clacking like a metronome. Brought a briefcase. Didn't open it once. My lawyer? She opened with this. "This isn't about solar. It's about sabotage." She laid out the stormwater violations, the resale incentive ties, the IRS leak. Then she passed the judge a printed screenshot from Marla's husband's real estate website. "We offer classic Americana homes, uncluttered by modern distractions like rooftop solar." The courtroom went silent. Knowledge nugget number 3. If you're being harassed over a green energy upgrade, subpoena their marketing material. If they've published bias against solar or any tech, it can prove intent. The judge ruled in my favor. $9,200 in damages. HOA ordered to rewrite section 4.2.7 within 30 days. And guess what? Marla resigned. Her husband pulled the remaining listings from the market. Word got around. Other HOAs in the region started revising their own solar clauses. Riverpoint just became a test case. After all the hearings, legal back and forth, and neighborhood drama, I finally installed my panels. That satisfying clang of the last bracket locking in. It felt like winning a war. Now my roof runs silent. Smooth. Generates enough power to feed back into the grid. And every time I get that little notification, $4.88 earned from solar surplus, I smile. Because that fine? That $4,000 slap in the face? I've already earned it back. But just last week, I noticed something odd. A black SUV parked across the street. Same time. 3 days in a row. Unmarked plates. I knocked on the window the 3rd day. It drove off. No words. Just tires on gravel. Next episode, I'll show you what I found in the HOA's private Facebook group. Let's just say, this isn't over. Ask ChatGPT.